Hello there, this is Curtis Shamanya, and I'll be fighting the Battle of Isandlwana today. My ultimate goal here is to fight as the British against the Zulus, but have a different outcome, the opposite outcome. Historically, what happened um, was the Zulu force won, which outnumbered the British force over 10 to 1. Um, it was fought during the Anglo-Zulu War, which was fought during the um, first half of 1879. The battle was fought on January 22nd, 1879, and like I said, it was a Zulu victory. I'll be for the battle. I'll be using the Khartoum and Zulu War mod for Napoleon Total War. Can be found on the Total War forums. It's a great little mod. It has a campaign and features those two wars, which were fought in the later half of the 19th century by Britain. So I'll be using that. I have the battle that I used. I already fought the battle. I have it as a replay, so I'll be recording the replay for you. I have the layout already and set up. I already have it set up. I am using a 1-to-1 ratio, so it'll be historical numbers exactly as so no small scale battles here. The sources vary on the size of the armies that fought that day. I have um, one source that was very specific I'll be using. It said there was 770 British Imperial troops. So that's what I have represented here in these 6 units. I have the 24th Regiment. That was the main regiment. And this is representing the other company, the 2nd Warwickshire here. They are nearly the exact same in the game. They have the same stats and everything. So this is representing the 2nd company of the 24th Regiment. There were also 350 Natal native infantry, irregular infantry. They were called the Natal native contingent. I have them here. There were also 2 guns, 6-pounders. I have them here. There was also 80 Royal Artillery men. They were used to support ammunition and protect the guns. I have them represented here. They're like irregular infantry. I'll be using them as a picket force. I also have Colonel Anthony Durnford's cavalry. His unit here, and then I have his cavalry that he brought to reinforce the Isandlwana camp. I have about 1,800 men total in my army, which is actually 3 different armies in the game because you can only have 20 units. So I have 20 units here, and then the overflow of Colonel Durnford's cavalry is here, and he had about 450 to 500 cavalry total. And also have the rockets, which were there historically. There were 2 Congreve rockets, but this unit here actually has 4, so that's within the boundaries of the game. That's as low as I could get. So there'll be 4 rockets. That's controlled. These 2 armies here are actually controlled by the computer, the AI. I can't control them because I'm only allowed 20 units. So total, we have about 1,800 men exactly, and that's how it was historically. The enemy I'll be fighting today is the whole Zulu force. In real life, what happened was there was only 12,000 Zulus engaged in the battle, and which was more than enough because they were victorious. They nearly wiped out the whole British force. But the whole army that was present was about 20,000 strong, and that's what I'll be fighting today. It's split up in 3 different armies because of the 20 unit limit in each army, and they're all basically spear wielding, javelin throwing infantry, light infantry really. They're very fast, primitive compared to my troops. They do have a couple musket units, maybe 3 or 4, and but the muskets are old muzzle loaders, nothing compared to my breech loading rifles. and their general is actually Dabu Lamanzi. He's in this unit here, and he is either the son or the nephew of Chetsuweu, who was the king of the Zulu nation, the Zulu people. So he was there historically in the battle. So this is a 1-to-1 ratio for the battle. I'll be fighting as 1,800. I'll have 1,800 troops, 1,800, and I'll be fighting a Zulu force of 20,000. What happened historically was Chelmsford, Lord Chelmsford, and I wrote a historical article on the battle, which you can find at the Wargamer, wargamer.com, and that's where this video after action report will be seen as well. I also wrote a review on the mod I'll be using, the Cartoon and Zulu War mod, and you can find that there as well at wargamer.com. What happened historically, and you can read more about it in my historical article, is Chelmsford invaded Zululand, and he had 3 columns. He left Colonel Anthony Dunford with his cavalry back on the border line of Zulu territory, the boundary, and he advanced into Isandlwana. It has a mountain hill, very distinctive, and it can be found on the paintings and stuff of the battle. You'll see as I fight the battle, the terrain. It's a very distinctive hill there. He camped there, and then he split his force yet again because he thought he saw the Zulus to the northeast. As he advanced, the Zulu army moved around him. The Zulu army of 20,000 moved around him completely undetected and attacked the Isandlwana camp. But just before the Zulus attacked, Colonel Anthony Durnford was there with his reinforcements, who reinforced with his 450 500 cavalry. So he was present at the battle, and he did perish. So I'll be playing the replay for you, and I'm recording that. Okay, here I am loading the battle. Basically what happened in real life was Chelmsford attacked with 3 columns, and he was in the center column. There's one to the west, one to the east. This is the north here. And he left Durnford and his reinforcements back at Rorke's Drift on the border of Zululand and the British colony. As he continued, he stopped and camped near the hill. You'll see the hill at Isandlwana. Very distinctive. He camped to the northeast of the hill. While he was there, he spotted a Zulu force, which he thought was to the northeast of him. He split his force at the camp and went to the northeast. The Zulu army then went behind him, undetected, about 20,000 strong, and then attacked the camp. Just before the Zulu attacked, Durnford reinforced the camp and was present at the battle. Here is the replay. There's no GUI down here, because the interface is during the gameplay. This is just a replay, which is neat. Total war feature. It's going to replay the battle, everything I did. So the units will be moving. I have it on pause now, so I can show you everything. This is the Isandlwana. This is the hill. They did a really great job at designing it. It's very specific. I'm going to trust the mod developers here with this terrain. I'm going to trust them that this is what it looked like in 1879. So I'm going to use this terrain to my advantage. The enemy outnumbers me a lot, more than 10 to 1. So I need to use every little advantage I can. I want to stay at a distance. They're melee infantry, my enemy. So I do want to keep them at arm's length, and so I can hit them with my rifles. Here's the line, 24th Infantry. Here's the gun, 6-pounder. I have one more of these, light. Here's what I'm using for the Royal Artillery. Here's the men on horseback. They all have rifles. The reinforcements that Durnford brought forward. Here's the Natal native contingent. Irregular infantry, rifles, good skirmishers. The other gun, that, and the rest of the troops. Here, rest of the mounted men. Durnford himself, I'll show you a picture of him. Here he is here. One-armed guy, like Horatio Nelson, kind of. They did a great job. A lot of these characters are made after the film Zulu Dawn, which is one of the few films I know about and it describes the battle. Gives a lot of information about it. It's a good movie to watch. You want to watch it. A lot of the sound effects in the mod also is similar. So I can't move any of the troops, but I can move the camera and press play and stuff. This is the AI here. It'll be doing everything. And of course the rocket troop. There's 4 rockets here. In real life there was only 2, and they got overran quickly because they were kind of in front, closer to the enemy. So, and that's what I suspect will happen here as well. Play this through. I know my strategy was I wanted to put most of my force in between these 2 canyons, because these canyons here, or depressions, are impassable. You can't go through them. You can go in between, you can go in them, but you can't cross over. So it's kind of a wall to protect me. They can get into the canyons here through these little depressions here, both sides. The enemy will be coming from the east here. 4 armies, you'll see. They can come from this way here, right? They could also come through on my left here, this way. They could also come through back behind on the other side of the mountain, this way. They could also come through this way here, or they could come through, either way. So there's several different ways of approach the enemy can take me. I have to protect. I plan on making in this area here. This is where I'm going to put my elite troops. I'm going to use them as withdrawing skirmish force. I want to inflict as much damage as I can on the enemy left, which is my right flank. I want to let them shrink their own side, so they don't come from my backside here, because my elite infantry is going to be on this side. I'll use the skirmishers mostly on this side. I'll also place